Hello, everybody, and welcome to Observations from the Fence Post. I am your host, Robert, and today I will be doing a graphic novel review. The name of this graphic novel is called The Passageway. Now, this came out in 2022, and it is part of a bigger series and a universe that has been created called the Bone Orchard Mythos. Now, this series and shared universe was created by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Now, Jeff is handling the writing, and Andrea is handling the art, and also on the team is Dave Sturt, who is doing the coloring. Now, folks in the comic book industry know that Jeff and Andrea have done some work together previously. They have worked on Green Arrow for DC. They have been co-creators on two other pieces of work, one called Gideon Falls and one called Primordial. And this is their newest creation, the Bone Orchard Mythos. Now, this graphic novel, The Passageway, it is a standalone novel. I mean, you buy the book, and it is a standalone story. It just happens to be part of this greater, like I said, universe called the Bone Orchard Mythos. Now, we were first introduced to this at Free Comic Book Day this year when they did a comic book called The Bone Orchard Mythos Prelude. You don't have to read that comic to understand anything in The Passageway. Again, The Passageway is a standalone story from beginning to end. Okay, here we have the front cover of The Passageway. As you can see, there's a hand, and you can see this black circle, okay, that looks like a hole. Doesn't take a stretch to figure out hole. Passageway is probably linked. Okay, and inside the hole in the middle of this hand palm is a drone. Now, all of these images come into play in the story. So the back cover here, we have another image of a crow eating some eyeballs, and this too plays into the overall story. So what is the story about? Well, there is an island with a lighthouse, and a hole is discovered that seemed to appear out of nowhere. The way the lighthouse keeper describes it is there were two rocks that one morning were gone, and in their place was this hole. So that is the setup for our story, The Passageway. Now, we have some characters in the story. The first character I'm going to talk about is John Reed. He is with the Canadian Geological Society, and he is called out to investigate this strange hole. Okay. The next character is Sal, short for Sally, and she is the lighthouse keeper. Okay. We also have a boat captain and fisherman who brought John out to the island, and his name is Doug. Okay. The last character that comes into play in the book and in the story is John's mom. And she is brought to us in terms of flashbacks, memories, and dreams. So those are the four main characters. Now, this is a horror story. It has a very similar feel to the old stories of H.P. Lovecraft. It's foreboding. You get the feeling that there's something evil going on. It's just lurking beneath the surface, and with this evil you just feel like there's something greater happening here. So I don't really want to ruin plot points. It's a fun story. It plays very nicely as it goes, and the art, let's just look at some of the art in this story. So favorite piece of art, right here. Look at this splash page. So much information here conveyed in a very unique style. Now, as you can see, like its predecessor, Prelude, the colors are muted, but there's also some jump out colorings. See, right here you got some brighter colors, okay? This here is a memory of John as a little boy, and you can see his mother right there. So this is what you can kind of expect with some of the artwork. Okay, this is another really gorgeous page where you can see it moving from left to right in the panels, and then you have this overlaying view of the lighthouse and the island at the bottom, overlaying the panels. So very nice. Now it's I've read it a couple of times and I enjoyed it. One reason you read things more than once is you hope to see things you maybe missed the first time. Like here, this is the opening credits page, and it just appears to be a tree. But if you look closer, it appears that there are bodies and people hanging from the tree, which contributes again to the overall horror and mythos of this story. So I liked it. You know, this horror is not for everyone, but it works very well as a story. The art is really good, and I hope that if you decide to give it a try, that you enjoy it as much as I did. I look forward to more pieces of the ongoing story in the Bone Orchard mythos. This one is a little bit more scary than the first introduction to this series, the Free Comic Book Day one called Prelude. This one was much darker, much more horrifying in a sense than the first one was. Both are standalone stories, and you should be able to get this one at your local comic book shop and possibly some bookstores, and I'm sure it's available online. So thanks for joining me today. This is what I had to share, and I hope that you have a blessed day. And remember, always keep it between the ditches, and peace. Thank you very much.